Hello and welcome to the North Wilkesboro Speedway, where the Napa Auto Parts Cup Series will be taking on this speedway in the North Wilkesboro 399. Let's take a look at our starting lineup presented by Craven Engines. On pole is Dragon Soul. Alongside him is Forza in the 47. Behind them, Blazing Technology Motorsports' Villain and Bear Motorsports' Flicker, rounding up or making up row 2. Behind them, Supreme and Ford. Two more playoff drivers, two veterans of the league, SDP and Bear Motorsports being represented right there. And behind them is the development car of Deere for SDP and the 31 of Zach, another playoff driver. And rounding out our field is the 42 of Milky from Late Night Racing, who's looking like he's going to miss a start. Pace car pulls off. Dragon will lead us to the Ohio Edison Restart Zone for 135 laps around North Wilkesboro Speedway, and we're green. Very solid start for everybody as the wild card closer is underway. A lot of contact down into turn 1 as we're 4 wide already for the lead. Supreme, oh my goodness. Dragging up onto his front tires after contact with Forza now. Supreme striking underneath the 10 of Villain for the lead already. Zach behind them moving up the track. 3 wide, he's on the bottom. Villain trying to protect, stay on the bottom. Supreme clear to the lead now as he leads lap 1. Trying to pull away early as Zach continues to try and trudge forward as he works on the number 10 for second. Deere making solid progress as well as he's up to P4 now. Got the Bear Motorsports duo up his bumper though. Up off of turn 4, Deere clears into third place as Villain now has to worry about the 24 Ford on his inside. Very bottom heavy racetrack here in North Wilkesboro. We're going to see drivers going after that left rear all night. As you see it here, Forza shuffled all the way back outside the top 5 just on that initial start. Still side by side for fourth. That's Ford and Dragon Soul, the pole sitter. Ford not letting go of that right rear. Gonna have to cede that fight though. Down into turn 1. 47 trying to take advantage, and he will. Now Flicker, his teammate, on his inside as well. 2 playoff drivers battling right there. Up off of turn 2, Ford continuing to fall back. Battle for the lead starting to heat up. 31 of Zach making some inroads on Supreme as Deere gets to his left rear. Now that gives him a really good run off of turn 4. Now he's going to be right to the 33's back bumper. You would think with these two being Dodge teammates, Deere would try and hold that 31 up, but he's looking to go by him. Deere takes second spot into turn 3 as Dragon way up the racetrack in turn 3 up into the wall, it looked like. Able to get out of it and rejoin, but now all the way back to last, or at least fighting for it. Zach and Deere continuing to go back and forth for second behind Supreme as he's led every lap to this point. Forza making his way back up to the front, up to P4 right now, taking the 48 of Flicker with him. Both of those drivers already advanced into the next round through their performance in the regular season. Approaching 10 laps into this race already, though. Had a good amount of action right here. As the 31 looking to the inside of the 33 for the lead into turn 1. Got to try and paint that yellow line. Supreme going to try and hold him. Not give him much room to work with. Little door bang off of turn 2. Diving down into turn 3. As they round turn 4 back to the front stretch. Zach leads lap 10. Now here comes Deere. Supreme's SDP Dodge Racing Team teammate looking to capitalize on that pass. Even going for the lead now. D2 driver Deere running the STP DRT development car, going to take the lead from Zach early in this race. Forza now entering the picture. 4 cars under a blanket down into turn 1 for the lead. Zach, odd man out, shoved way up the racetrack. Here comes Flicker and Villain now as well. Hard battling going on. It's going to lead everybody to him. 2 Dodges out front. Forza trying to muscle his way past both of them. Barely on the inside of Supreme. Supreme tried to shut the door. Forza was having none of it. Going to try and maximize his corner exit to hang on the quarter panel, but he's not going to be able to. Going to look for the crossover. Expect a bump going down into turn 1. Moves him up the track. Oh, nearly turning him. Oh, hard into the wall goes Supreme behind him. Zach now on his inside. Supreme all the way back outside of the top 5 after that skirmish with the 47 right here in turn 3. 26 of Dragon struggling to remake that ground. He started on the pole, had some incidents early, but he's not been able to make his way back to the front as we've seen, you know, Forza and even Villain be able to do to this point. Although Villain's right with the 26, so maybe never mind. Oh! Around goes the 48 nearly. Jackknifed with the 26 and 10. Able to recollect himself, though. And clears in front of the 10. The Villain crossing him over, looking for the inside into 1. Got the 26 all up his bumper. Going to be even down the back straightaway. Villain takes the spot off of turn 4. Zach and Supreme continuing to battle for P3 as Forza starts to open up his gap over Deer in second. There we go. Supreme with the crossover on the 31 down into turn 1. Gave him a little bit of the bumper, but most of that was just wheeling that car back down to the bottom. And he will take that spot into 3. Clipped that car on the apron, though. Clipped the left side tires. Sent him way up the track, as well as some contact from the 33. Going to fall back to 4th now, in jeopardy of losing 5th. Or going back to 5th, excuse me. Now here comes the 26 of Dragon on his inside. No laps off here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Everywhere you look, there's somebody trying to make a move on you, trying to take advantage of your mistakes. Supreme almost just fell victim to it right there, able to maintain himself, stay in 4th. Big shot from the 26, though. Dragon now starting to make his way back up through the field. Cracked the top 5, just now getting past that 10 car. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight, as this is the closer to the first round of the playoffs. You'll see it at the top of the board, like always, the last 2 weeks. Forza and Flicker highlighted in green, locked into the next round through regular season finishing standings. And then behind them is really where it gets tight, because Villain and Supreme are both above the cut. They're both present here tonight, not having the best runs, but they don't need to have the best runs. They're above the cut line right now. What they really don't need is for that 31 of Zach, who's currently racing for second, to continue this very strong night and finish with a top 3, even a win. And those two have some misfortune, maybe on pit road or something else happened to them. But they're really banking on Zach Dragon to not have incredible days, which it was looking like Dragon was going to be really strong, qualified on pole. But he's fallen back outside of the top 5, making his way back into it now. But Zach on the other side of this, or Zach also in a similar situation to his teammate, running second, holding back the pack. I believe he's holding him up, actually, allowing Forza to drive away. I do think some of these Dodges like Supreme and Deer might be faster than the 31, but this North Wilkesboro Speedway is just such a competitive track. It's so racy. It's hard to really complete a pass and be able to drive away the very next corner, because these guys can just ship it into you or ship it underneath you and just hold their ground. Very forgiving racetrack here. It forgives and then it forgets the very next corner. Big blocking from Flicker down the front stretch on Deer. We got a fuster cluck of race cars right here from P6 all the way back, or no, P5, no, P3 all the way back to P8 Ford. These guys are really jammed up here, not allowing them to catch the 47, even the 31. He has pulled away a lot just in about, what, 2 laps? Opened up his gap to about a second over P3. Or Deer nearly going around off the front nose of Flicker. Supreme now starting to break away from the rest of the pack. That incident with Flicker and Deer really gave him the cushion he needed to put down a clean lap, put a clean lap together, put some good corners together, run his own line without having to defend. But starting to already closing in on 31 of Zach. You can see it just right there. Don't even have to look at the ticker. You can see the gap closing. I'll tell you what, one gap that is not closing is the gap from Forza back to the 31. He is taking off in the lead, as he's known to do. Once he gets the lead, you'll never see him again. Forza currently making that true. Still very hard battling, tooth and nail for P4 here. Dragon trying to strike on Flicker. Very wide swinging entry to the corner for that 48. Gives him a good exit though. Closing in on our first pit stop of the night. Big shot from the 26. Flicker gonna get right back in line, and I expect him to give it right back down into turn 1. Dragon moved up out of the way. He knew it was coming. 10 laps to go in stage 1. Pit stops are starting. Flicker, the first to dive the pit road. His teammate Ford follows him. Oh, Ford into the pit entry wall. A rookie mistake for the veteran driver, owner of Bear Motorsports. Not having a great run, but hitting the wall right there does not help at all. Makes it into his box cleanly, at least. Supreme, Dragon, and Deer all coming down as well. Contact for the 5 and 26, though. Gonna lose them a little bit of time. Deer sending it in way too hot, coming onto pit road. 5 is first to his box, though. 26 after him, and then the 33. Oh, Supreme almost got a penalty. If he would have initiated that stop outside of his box, that would have been a penalty for him. Leader Forza still yet to pit. The 10 of Villain also staying out an extra couple laps. 31 of Zach on pit road as his teammate finishes up service. No penalties yet. Zach down and away. Got a very strong run going. Just doesn't need to throw it away on pit road, as here comes Forza headed down pit road for his first stop of the night. Cleanly into his box. Villain follows him. Let's see if Zach can gain any time on him while he's on pit road. Forza's down and away, already headed off. You see the 31 coming around just now, coming around the pit exit, and Forza already back up to speed, headed down the backstretch. Villain up to P3, pitting with his teammate. Really good strategy call for that team. Supreme lost a good amount of time. Ford and Flicker. Somehow Ford came out in front of Flicker, even after hitting the pit wall. Flicker must have had some troubles on his stop that we didn't see. 5 to go in stage 1 nonetheless, though. And everybody has pitted. No penalties on our first pit cycle of the night. So we will go green into stage 2 once Forza comes around to take the checkered. Top 5 all receive stage points. The top 2 receive playoff points, which are ever important this late in the season. After this, we only have 4 races left to crown a champion. And it's anybody's game right now. But right now, Forza running away with this lead here. And the stage win at that. Zach over 2 seconds back. Very much needed points for Zach, though, coming into tonight. Going to be a good stage result for him as long as he can keep this run up for the rest of the race. He could put himself in a good position to advance after this round. Two laps to go. Pit road is closed, but I doubt we'd see anybody come down. Just finished up a cycle. So Forza coming around to the white flag in stage 1. After this stage concludes, 40 more laps the distance to complete stage 2. So we've completed 40. Forza, coming off of turn 4, will win stage 1. And just like that, we're going to double it back, run 40 more to make it to the end of stage 2. Flicker got by his teammate Ford, setting his sights on the top 5 position for Deere, currently holding it. Deere's got a good run going on here. One of the better short track racers in the NAPRA, whether it's D2 or D1. He'll always put on a show. Be around the front, up towards the front. Let's take a look at our keys to victory presented by Home Depot. First on the list, this is the closer to the opening wildcard round of the playoffs this season. So a little bit of nerves could be taken on some of these drivers, especially the ones below the cut. Sorry, where was I? Yeah, a little bit of nerves coming into this race for some of these guys below the cut.
Sorry to butt in, King.
You scared the shit out of me.
Our Panda's gone, so I'm going to be serving in as a temporary official, if that's okay.
Okay, that's fine.
And also, you got your voice changer on, by the way. You can turn it off when you remember.
What voice changer?
Oh, maybe it's just me then. All right, man.
Oh my god. You've got to be kidding me. You're fucking lying. Why did nobody say anything this whole time? I've been in so many VCs, and nobody said anything about the voice changer being on. Seriously? Some friends I have. Flicker trying to take P5 from Deere. One of the tougher passes in the NAPRA. Oh, who cares about the freaking keys? Flicker on the inside going into turn 3. He will take it. Deere gives him a big shot going into 3. Oh, Flicker nearly turning him on the front stretch. Not happy with how he's getting raced. Flicker has nothing to lose right here. He's locked into the playoffs, or locked into the next round. Flicker unable to get by the 5 on that first attempt. Gonna dial it up and go back at him here. Villain looking to get around the 31 for second. Make it a BTM 1-2 here once again. If these two get to battle, and Supreme is not too far back if they get to battling, hard. He could make a run at him, especially with how much time we have left in the stage and another pit stop on the horizon before this one is over with. Flicker finally able to get around the 5. And going really defensive into turn 1. It's allowing Ford to keep up with these guys. Oh, what happened to the 26? He's way behind. 26 of Dragon lost a ton of time on that first pit stop. I'm not sure what happened to him. But came in inside the top 5, I believe. Or right around there. And came out last car in the lead lap. Still nothing but clean track out front for Forza. Meanwhile, behind him, his teammate trying to get around the 31 of Zach from Drone Strike Racing for P2 here. Zach lets off big into turn 1. Tried to get back to the bumper and could not. Villain will take P2. Zach slips to 3rd. Dero's gotten back around the 48. Flicker striking back on him. I do believe the 48's a bit faster than the 5. Flicker using up the 5 on corner exit. And Deer going to give it right back to him. Ford, the 48's teammate, just watching, not trying to get involved at all. Ford, unfortunately, mathematically unable to advance into the next round. So, just running here for fun. Always says he loves North Wilkesboro and how this track races, but currently not being the nicest to him. Running 7th, not his best run here. But 20 to go in the stage 2. Lots of things can still happen. As the 48 and 3 or 5 got a little too close coming off of turn 4. Jack knifed a bit. Now that'll allow the 24 to get by the 5 as well. Up the track goes to 24 with help from the 5. Flicker trying to take this opportunity to finally pull away from the 5. Ford door slammed him down the straightaway a bit. Gives him a crossover, nearly turns him around. Deer door slamming the 24. Oh, and into the wall, or into the pit wall. Zach not letting go of the fight on the 10 here. Still going back and forth for second as he gets into the bumper again. Villain's got to be getting fed up at this point, because I do believe the 10 is faster than the 31. He got by him cleanly initially, and the 31, I'm sure, gave him the bumper to get back by him. All they're battling is allowing the 33 of Supreme to close in on them as well. And they're even losing time on the leader. Forza coming to 15 to go in stage 2. Just a few laps out from our next pit cycle. Zach wearing out that 10th bumper still. Flicker on pit road. He was the first to come on the first cycle. First to hit pit road once again, I think. No. Yeah, he was the first. Ford stays out one more lap, and now he will come on down. Cleanly this time, no contact with the pit wall. Flicker heads off. Huge undercut here from the 48. We'll see if it pays off at all. Next car in front of him would be the 33. Here's the 26 of Dragon making his way down pit road. Pitting from P5. P8. Once everybody cycles out when he came in. Supreme also coming down at the same time. A few boxes ahead of him. Cleanly in his box. When will the rest of these Fords pit? Forza, Zach, and Villain all staying out till this point. Oh! Hot merge from the 33. Oh, and he receives a drive-through. Must have penalized on his stop. And he will not serve it this time, but the 31 of Zach will pit for his service right now. Ran that thing pretty far. Villain stays out though. He and Forza were the longest to stay out on the last run. And here he comes. Forza still staying out an extra lap. Stretching that fuel as far as it can go as we are just now within 10 to go in stage 2. And Forza finally brings it down pit road. Supreme follows him to serve his penalty. Oh, Forza might run out of fuel. Oh, Forza might have miscalculated. Oh, Forza runs out of fuel. Oh my goodness, from the lead. Oh my goodness. Terrible circumstances. Your leader miscalculates the strategy, pits, got onto pit road, and ran out of fuel. Oh, terrible. Unfortunate circumstances. Now, the lead will go to the 31 of Zach. Or no, he's battling for the lead with the 10 of Villain. Villain trying to make up for his team owner's misfortune with a win here. Winless on the season so far. He's had winning speed whenever he shows up. Especially last weekend at Watkins Glen, he had great speed battling with his team owner late in the race as the 31 gives him the bumper again. Zach below the cut line, the 10 above. This win could propel Zach into or above the cut line to transfer into the round of 4. But it all starts here with this stage win because that's playoff points, regular points as well. Both of these guys are in position for playoff points. But it's one more playoff point if you win the stage than if you come second. So it's going to be a good battle here as Villain trying to go right around the outside of the 31. Zach running really defensive on the bottom now. Going to be side by side even across the start finish line to 5 laps to go in stage 2. Villain backing off. Looking to give him the bumper in turn 1 here. Not quite. Seeing two opposite forms of racing. We're seeing the 31 who's just beating and banging on the 10 whenever he gets by him. But the 10 of Villain being more patient, trying to get around the 10, or trying to get around on the outside when the 31 trying to box himself down on the bottom, trying to defend. Off of turn 4, now we'll see 3 to go in the stage. When will Villain make his move, and will he use the bumper? 31 has not been able to, or has not been afraid to. And we've heard over the radio the 10 getting a little frustrated with this competitor. Off of turn 4, now the 2 to go. Lap car just up ahead. That's the 42 of Milk. If he's able to stay on the lead lap until this caution comes out, he would receive the lucky dog, the free pass, and be placed back on the lead lap. But the way these leaders are coming up on him, looks like he's gonna have to push it to the white flag in stage 2. Zach currently over with the advantage over the 10. 42 not going to be blue flagged yet. He's racing for his lap. Got one more corner to hold on to it. Now for the stage win, though, what will the 10 do? Gonna dive it into the bumper, into the 42. Zach makes contact with the lap car. Milky will get the free pass at the caution. Zach wins stage 2 over a hard charging Villain. Behind them, Flicker cleans up for P3. Supreme takes P4 and Ford, stealing some stage points in P5. Caution will come out. Oh my gosh. Looks like the 42 is going to run out of fuel. Oh my god. How unfortunate. He was so worried about the leaders in his mirror, he forgot to check the fuel pressure. And that's it. He is out of fuel. But at least he'll receive finish points. Here they come. Zach will lead the whole field on the pit road. Busiest pit road we're going to see all night. Under caution, everybody coming down. Ford, the first to his box. He's good. 31 and 26 also in their boxes to the service of their Drone Strike Racing crews. Everybody good. We'll come around and take the green this time. Choose cone coming into effect here. We'll see where the field goes. I assume most will take the bottom. Everybody takes the bottom. Dragon first to jumps to the top. And Ford will fill in on the bottom as well. So 48-26 front row coming back to the Ohio Edison restart zone. Going to be going green with 48 laps to go at North Wilkesboro, and we're green once again. 3 wide on the start. Good jump for the 10 as well as the 31 pushing him. Flicker now going to have to try and get that car to rotate off the top as Villain clears for the lead. Zach looking to strike on him. It was those two coming down to the end of stage 2. Will they be able to drive away once again and duke it out for the win? Flicker trying to hold his own on the top is going to be tough, though, especially with that freight train on the bottom. Now he's top of 3, Supreme and Dragon underneath him. Ford looking on from P6. For the lead, Zach going to the inside of the 10. Supreme gets by him on the bottom to P3. Still side by side for the lead, though. Dragging way down to the apron, down on the front stretch. Gonna back out of that move underneath the 33. Villain's starting to fade now as he's getting freight trained on the top. Supreme now to P3, gonna try and take advantage of this 31 while he's in striking distance. Hard sending to turn 3. I think a little contact from the 26 as well. There comes Ford and Flicker, both pouncing on the 10. Flicker shoved it in 3 wide, put his team under 3 wide middle. Neither of them have anything to lose, though. Ford out of playoff contention, or out of contention for the next round in the playoffs, so he's just racing for the hell of it. Flicker already advanced into the next round. Villain's currently above the cut line, but not safe. Especially if that 31 keeps leading like he is. Holding a pretty wheel. Supreme trying to close the gap. Looks like he got a little close right there through turn 3. One more good set of corners and he will be within striking distance to the 31's bumper. Neither of these two drivers are afraid to use the bumper. The 31 has already put it on display tonight with the 10. Supreme willing to do whatever it takes to get a win. Already got 2 this season at Indianapolis and New Orleans. Currently sitting 4th, last car above the cut line. Lot on the line for him. He also needs to finish out this race with a good run. Not quite able to close the distance, though. Zach very smoothly leading. Not quite able to pull away like Forza was, but he's still out front as he takes 40 to go now. Bump to the back from the 33 to the 31. Supreme is there, trying to go by Zach for the lead here. Sending it in really hard on turn entry. Trying to pressure that 31 into a mistake, make him slide up the track a bit. Villain working on the 26 for P3 here. I expect a bump down here into turn 1. Here it comes. Big send from Supreme. 31 trying everything to get back down. Supreme's there on the inside right at the quarter panel. Can Zach hold his own on the outside? Maybe pinch the 33 down on that yellow line. Not giving up yet. Supreme barely leads that lap by a nose. Here comes the 10 now into the frame. 35 to go. Supreme, your leader, over the 31. The entire top four not locked into the playoffs. 2 of them above, 2 of them below the cut line. Lots on the line here for these drivers as we near the end of the opening round in the playoffs. Matter of fact, let's just put the points up and keep them up. Let's keep the points up on the screen for the rest of the race. Maybe make them a little smaller. There we go. Villain starting to fade back from the leaders again once they stopped battling. Fell back in line, single file behind each other. Zach biding his time, not trying to let the 33 pull away, but keeping him honest. Villain now trying to protect from the 48 and 26. Ford still lurking. Up in the wall. Second time we've seen him up out of the groove tonight. First it was in turn 3 earlier. Now again in turn 1. Zach looking to the inside of Supreme once again for the lead. Villain once again starting to close. I think this race is going to come down to that final pit stop we have on the horizon. Supreme on the bumper, and here comes the 10 now. 3 wide down the front stretch for the lead. Ford making some noise up to P4. He could go for the lead if these 3 continue to fight. Zach now lining himself up back behind the 10. Supreme hung out on the top. Got to try and find some rotation in that car. Zach looking to the inside. Big block from the 10. Now here comes the rest of the field. Everybody right back in line like it was a restart. Everybody within striking distance now. As a big move from the 31, a big block from the 10. Checked everybody up. Now Ford looking to make some noise inside the podium. Bump to the back of the 31. Peeking to the inside. Gonna get by the 33 of Supreme. Supreme had a big checkup, big moment off of 2. Not sure if that car got tight, but he had to get out of the gas a lot. Lost even a position. Now he's gonna lose another to Flicker, striking on his inside. Ford up to P3, or P3 looking for P2 now. To the back of that 31. Muscling him up the track. Gonna have the inside going down into turn 3. It's been years since the 24 has seen victory lane in the Napa Auto Parts Cup Series. Could Ford do it in his signature Coors Light colors here tonight at North Wilkesboro? 24 to go. He's fighting inside the top 3. His teammate Flicker looking to make it 3 wide, trying to take second in one fell corner. The 10 of Villain loving to see all this action in his mirror because he gets a show and he gets to pull away with the lead. Supreme big move to the inside of the 31. Zach tried to shut the door, could not do it. Supreme now to second. Flicker falls victim to the contact. All the way back to P6 now, stuck on the top of the racetrack. Supreme now slides to second. Zach trailing in third. Villain trying to drive away before this pit stop. Open up the gap as much as he can. Only a few laps out now. Is that final stop, the money stop for tonight? Zach looking to go by the 33. That 31 is on rails late in this race. Supreme a massive block. That was an asinine block. Wow. Flicker looking underneath the 26 for P4. Zach trying to keep his eyes set on the 33. Supreme reeling in the 10 as well. Oh, Supreme missed the bottom. Here comes Zach. 20 to go. Now 19 at the line. Pit stop drawing nearer. Who will be the first to pit? Who's going to try the undercut here? Will it be worth it with the field being this tightly packed? It's going to be Flicker. Flicker first to hit pit road, as he has been for the majority of the night. Will the undercut work into his favor? Battling on track continues. Drone Strike Racing teammates now side by side for P3 down the back straightaway. 24 Ford pulling off, going to hit pit road. Flicker finishing up his service. Going to rejoin right in front of second. As Dragon low on the apron. Supreme as well. Coming to pit road. Supreme took a really aggressive pit road entry. Got into the back of the 26, who was taking it a little more conservative. This has to be the stop of the night for these teams. Dragon, good in his box. Supreme, the same. Zach now coming down pit road. Saw it from that camera. Saw him pull down on the backstretch to 10 as well. Everybody is pit. Now let's see where it will cycle out. Zach to the service of his crew. Villain the same. Flicker currently in the spot to take the lead if he can get around in time. Dragon gave him a nudge. Villain down and away. Rounding turn 1. Gonna be out and away with the lead for now. 26 up into the wall. Villain, your leader, as we have just wrapped up our money stop. 15 laps to go. Villain out to about a second gap over Flicker. Can the reigning champ do it? Can he chase down the rookie to the league to pick up his second win on the season? Villain looking for his first triumph of the year. Flicker won earlier at Texas this year in a dominant fashion. Won at North Wilkesboro a couple seasons ago, I believe season 6. So he's used to winning at this track. He knows how to get it done. Can he make the push late? Villain cannot put a wheel out of place, or else that 48 will be there and will be striking. 33 and 26 continue to battle for the points, allowing the 48 to pull away and focus on his line. Zach, the big loser in this pit cycle, all the way back to P5, battling with the 24 of Ford, putting his points in jeopardy. We got battles all over the track. We got points battles. We got the battle for the win heating up. Flicker picks up a 10th on Villain that lap. Good stuff here from North Wilkesboro. Supreme clears in front of the 26. Will Dragon give him the bumper? Dragon won the pole from tonight, but ever since the drop of the green has not shown that speed. Supreme now opening up his gap as we have 10 laps left in the wild card round of the NAPCS playoffs in Season 8. Flicker reeling in the 10 ever so slightly. He's got 9 more revolutions around this half-mile racetrack to close. Gap isn't going down by much. Villain is being very smooth. Flicker the same. Gotta be pushing it though. Seven to go. A really good lap for Villain. Opened up to nearly a second as Flicker falls into the clutches of the 33. Villain pulling away as he rounds to 5 to go at North Wilkesboro. He might have this win secured if he can hold his line, hold that car nice and steady. Supreme moves the 48 out of his way into P2. Battle now for the points, for the cut line. DSR teammates. Oh, big move from Supreme down onto the apron to cross over the 48 of Flicker. 4 to go now. Supreme currently 4th above the cut. Last car above. Zach and Dragon, the very next cars below the cut line. Closing in on the 33 now. Every point matters. Every position matters. 3 to go now. The 20. Oh! What happened to the 48? Did he jump out of his car? He jumped out of his car. Wow. Wow. Insane turn of events. Oh, I had it right. Whoops. All right, coming to the choose. Villain takes the bottom. Supreme follows him. Dragon. Lone driver on the top once again. Oh no, Flicker's up there with him. To the Ohio Edison restart zone. It's overtime to decide the competitor for NAPRA. Villain to the lead. Supreme on the bumper. Looking low. Villain protecting his ground. Rounding turn 2. Very defensive line for the 10. Supreme gonna give him a bump. Get him sideways on the apron. Up the track. Coming around to the white flag. Zach now into P2. Everybody making a mad rush at the 10. The 26 up the track. 4 wide down the back straightaway. Nearly. Turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Bumper tag. The 31 underneath them. Who can get the throttle down? Off of turn 4. Zach is going to win in North Wilkesboro. What a finish. Zach picks up his second win of the year at North Wilkesboro. For now. Wow. Wow. That was something, for sure, something. Zach was the first to the line after a late caution. Debris on the racetrack. Villain had it in the bag. Caution came out late. So now we gotta review that finish, see if anything was out of line, out of the rule book. We'll take a look at it right here. In the bag. Man, that was wild. Villain's brake checking the field to try and keep the lead. Everybody's just trying to get by him. Everybody's just trying to race. Everything looked clean. I mean, that's short track racing, beating and banging. Nobody did anything egregious. Everybody was smart. Some sending. And then the 31 just got hooked by the 24. That's how he got that one. Wow, that's how he got the turn off to win. What a finish. Man.
How's this gonna work?
That was wild. I'm reviewing it right now. I'm reviewing it on the stream. Nobody did anything illegal. If anything, Villain did something illegal by brake checking. I saw him. That's why he spun, or almost spun, in turn 3 on the white, or coming to the white flag. But nobody did anything illegal. Zach won that fair and square. Villain's just mad.
All right, so Zach is the winner. I'll let him know that he can do his burnout.
Yeah, Villain's just upset about the caution, which is understandable, but it's the rule. Zach, your winner from North Wilkesboro to close out the wild card 8 round. A drone strike racing sweep for the first time this season. Michigan got it done last night. Zach picks up his second win of the season here in a very eventful finish. Felt my voice going out when I was yelling at the end of that one. Gonna need some cough drops, but that's fine. Started off not the best season for Zach, but 2 wins right around the playoffs. Won the the regular season closer at Talladega, and he wins the wild card closer tonight from North Wilkesboro. Does Zach use a mic? No, Zach doesn't use a microphone. Why do I keep doing that? Here we go. All right. Insane finish. Let's grab some interviews. We'll start with Ford. He finished P3, stole a P3 at the line. Ford, come up to the stage. Oh, wait. Ford, come up to the stage.
Hello.
Here with the driver of the 24 post-race at North Wilkesboro. Stole a P3. It was a photo finish at the line, but it looked like you took third.
Yes, I saw the replay.
Insane finish. You were right there in the middle of it. Tell me what you saw and what it looked like happened from your seat, from your POV.
Well, I mean, all race, especially towards the end, I was just pushing as hard as I could without wrecking anyone. And I'm like, my idea was I'm going to push Zach on the corner. Maybe I can get him loose to get on the bottom of him and split him down the middle. But just if I had a slight bit more turn, I would have been able to get up there and maybe have gotten the win. But I always like racing Zach. He's honestly my favorite person to race. So, I mean, I had fun. I had fun racing him all race, had some aggressive battles with everyone. Had some low points, had some high points. Came back from the back of the field to second at one point, and then just sold, went a little too high in one corner, and then shuffled back. But I thought it was a really fun race, honestly.
Yeah, that finish was definitely wild. Your teammate Flicker's getting some. I'm sure he's gonna get some flack on Row Twitter post race about that little incident that brought out the caution. But we'll see how the officials deem it. And yeah, thanks for talking to me.
King,
And,
sorry to bother you, King. Ford, I do want to ask you, random interview. Are there going to be some internal penalties, team-wise, for Flicker? I know NAPRO may do something, but how are you as team owner gonna look at this and move forward?
We will definitely talk about it, and we'll see what happens from there. We'll go over everything. We'll go over what we think's fair. I mean, I got some stuff about myself I need to possibly penalize. I mean, I was a little rough on Deer. I will say that. I mean, he certainly pissed me off after how he was racing Flicker, just being aggressive like it's white flag every lap of the race. So I definitely tried to wreck him a couple times and started the 48. We were probably over aggressive at a couple points, but we'll definitely have something to talk about. And yeah, so.
all right, well, that was Ford, driver of the number 24 Bear Motorsports Chevrolet, after finishing P3 at North Wilkesboro. We'll see what Supreme has to say. We'll see if we can make it through his interview with no expletives. Here with the driver of the is he already at the thing? Yeah, he's already up here. Here with the driver of the number 33 Supreme after North Wilkesboro. I believe you finished top 5. I think. I'm not sure, but nonetheless, exciting finish. You were right there at the end, coming through the final corners. Just couldn't get it done. But tell me how the race went for you. How you think how the car was. How it felt racing on the short track once again.
Oh my god. I got nothing to say, bro. But yeah. Kind of needed to finish ahead of Zach, but I didn't get to finish ahead of him, so we're likely not making it past this round. But just a testament to how bad like officials are. These cars are kind of iffy at best. Point system also kind of sucks. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how no one was penalized on those final 2 laps. Like it's every week now where officiating is inconsistent. Sometimes it affects sometimes it affects people, sometimes it doesn't. I just happen to be one of the unlucky, fortunate apps. I had a good car. I believe I was the best car all race. Kind of can't do nothing.
That's
When all
bold.
this track is like, you brake a little bit, and then power drive it into wherever the hell is in front of you. So it's like, yeah, kind of can't do nothing. My bumper, if this was real life, my bumper would be gone. Like this whole car would be sheet metal. Everyone would be metal. But congratulations to Forza, Flicker, Villain, and probably Zach to making it to the competitor four. I don't care who wins at this point. You won't see me on this track in this car for the rest of the season. It was a great run with retirement movement. I just retire honestly. This might just put me to retire because kind of every week now that the officiating is kind of just up, not just this race, but like almost every race.
All right, wrap it up.
And it needs to be a very, very deep cleaning.
We gotta cut to the commercials.
Wrap it up, dude. Come on.
Yeah. F Zach, F and for brake checking the entire field. But yeah. I'm alright to be here, I guess. Thank you for letting me rant a little.
Are you done?
Yeah.
All right, so that'll do it for our coverage of the North Wilkesboro 399 from the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Zach claimed his second win of the season after late caution, insane overtime. He got it done for the second time this season, completing the first Drone Strike Racing weekend sweep of the year and closing out the wild card 8. So we'll be back next weekend. More racing action from where are we? Nashville. From Nashville next weekend to kick off the competitor 4. And yeah, so same time as always, 7 p.m. Eastern time, Saturday and Sunday. And hopefully we'll see you there. So hopefully you tune in.